speed week, the last one. A little sad, but also haven't been feeling great, so I'm ready to go home, rest, and prepare for the next one, which is only a week away. That said, I'm gonna try my best. The course looks fun as per usual. The organization has been doing an amazing job all week. We're just gonna hop on to the camera and get this race going, fingers crossed.
Here we go again, one last time. So sad. Well, it's not like it's the last race ever. It's just the last race of Speed Week. It's been fun. I didn't, get the results I would have wished to, but these videos were really fun to make, and I'm really glad that more people got to enjoy them. So, yeah, this last one, I'm really excited to share this one because it was by far the one that I felt the best in. Out of the 7, it feels like obviously throughout the 7 days I was just able to recover and start just feeling like myself. So this course was also a lot of fun. And you can see that very early on I figured out what the best lines were, that on this back straight, the inside line was just the best line to take for drafting purposes because there was a side wind coming from the left. And so I used that line a lot to recover and move up in the field. Then there's this group of corners, a right-hand turn, then a left, and then a right again, that were quite technical, and it took me a few laps to figure them out. I came out of that corner a bit too far back there, so I had to put some power, and then here on the finish straight, which is a hill, I realized that it was going to be like in previous courses where everyone just went crazy. I did that for about 2 or 3 laps, quote unquote going crazy on the hill, until I realized and reminded myself that if I just stayed more consistent and didn't spike so much, I would last longer in the race. So fortunately, that's something I realized later on in this race. But so we're on lap 2 here, and it's pretty smooth. I'm happy with how I'm going. I'm constantly reminding myself to not go too crazy, not go too hard and chase too many things, and just if I see an opportunity to move up, take it, and just again save energy, rest, figure out what the best lines on the corners are, and hopefully be there at the end. So this corner 3 has had some water, which took me a little bit to figure out if it was sketchy or not to take it at an angle, and it really wasn't because there was a lot of grip. And then this corner afterwards was really hard because there was a gutter on the left side, so you had to be careful. And these were just all things that I was figuring out throughout the race, all while trying to not get gapped, which then would make me waste energy in closing said gap. So again, we're on this finish straight. You see now that even though we're still going very hard, you see a gap forming. I figured that I could follow the wheels and make less of an effort, and you saw that with the watts there on the left, that I didn't really go over 600, which isn't common because in the first lap in all those races before, I was always going crazy. Here trying to clean the camera because of that puddle that we went over. So yeah, feeling good. The heart rate is in the 170s, which is high, but if you guys remember in previous races at this point, I would already be in the 180s, which is just too much. And then again, you see here doing little to no power, I'm able to move up. Obviously, no one's going crazy. This is a headwind, like I said, kind of sidewind, headwind section. So no one really wants to attack or put too much power down because they're not going to go anywhere. So it's a great opportunity to move up in the field and then again into this quote-unquote wet corner. So at this point, I'm starting to feel confident on those corners. I was able to do almost 2 corners in a row without using any power whatsoever, and then get down here and have to put a little bit of a spike because maybe I just saved too much energy on those previous 2 corners. Anyway, back to the finish straight, and one more time here, you're gonna see that little gaps start opening, and my reaction usually would be to just go and try to close them or follow that guy going hard on the right. But again, just decided to stay smooth, not be the one to close the gap, and just follow wheels, and my power doesn't spike, which then means, again, I can last longer. This guy in front of me in the yellow, as you might have seen in the clip earlier in the video, he ended up sprinting for second place on the race. Was really close. I honestly thought he'd won, but after the previous race, I already knew that he was strong, so immediately I started paying attention to things like that. And so my goal then became, or just one of my goals was, let me keep this guy in sight and try to follow his wheel. And then he goes to close the gap, and fortunately I didn't react to go after him and just let other people follow him, which then meant that I was able to close that gap doing little to no power. And we're back on this little loop. So that kept going for a while, and then skipping 9 laps ahead here, we're on lap 13, where things are still spicy. I wouldn't say that the race got substantially harder. You know, people kept trying to attack on the hill. You see there's 2 guys ahead there, and then they would get caught on this headwind section, because as soon as 2 or 3 guys work a little together to bring them back, they just are brought back because of the wind. And so here there's a little gap opening. Again, me a couple days earlier would probably just go and close that out of nervousness, but I don't, and let this guy do it because I don't have anything to prove or anything to lose in letting someone else do all the work, because after the week I've had, all I want to do is save energy and just make it to the end of the race. So here on lap 13, I this is like past the halfway point. It's pretty big lap, and I'm just trying to take all these corners without having to spike power. As you see here, that corner before, I've had to do 700-800 watts out of it to hold the wheel, and that time 300-400 was enough, which is ideal to follow these wheels. So one more time up the hill, and that guy there attacks. I go with the same approach of just not following, not spiking, and trying to keep the power under 600 watts and just following wheels, not dropping back, but also not trying to pass anyone. And that strategy was just really working really well, and was getting me excited to the finish, because I was feeling good. Honestly, at this point, I thought I had a chance of at least just being there at the end and then seeing what happened. So 14th lap in, and I'm floating around the top 10 wheels, letting other people close gaps, saving energy when possible, drafting, using movements of the peloton like this, where it swarms, to keep myself forward without again spiking or using too much energy. And even though we're going really fast, 45 kilometers an hour, 27 miles an hour with a tailwind, because there's a little bit of a break, I'm not using a lot of energy, and I was really stoked on that. So here's something that I really want to pay attention, and maybe you guys can help me figure out what happened. With 2 corners to go on this 14th lap, I'm putting a lot of power, nothing crazy, and then I'm like 5th wheel, and you see up there on the road, this guy just slides out, another one goes down. I see that the only line for me to take was to go on the sidewalk, but I'm like, wait, I'm not giving up. Got out of the saddle, go as hard as I can on this sidewalk to try to still be on the group, then rejoin the course here, and I'm putting more power up the hill than I have before during the whole race, and I'm not able to close that gap. There's I think 1 or 2 guys behind me, but that gap is just opening as they are also attacking after such a crash, which sucked. And then if you notice here on the right is the wheel pit right there. I didn't go in. I should have gone in, because I do get a free lap after that, but I didn't, and just decided to chase with these guys. I don't know why. We chased for quite a few laps, but just never end up getting to them. And then, yeah, the race ends. So that's that, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.